yourself, Adam.
Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror. Now, today, guys, we are doing an interview with a couple of the cast members of A Night of the Undead. So let's start rolling around here. Over here, we have Brianna. Brianna, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you all?
We are great. She is Piper in the film.
Yes.
Down here below us, but you guys don't know that, is Denny, who plays Brady in the film. How you doing, brother?
Great, man. How are you guys doing?
We are a lot better now.
Yeah.
And then down here also below us, which you guys can't see, McKenzie. McKenzie, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, thank you. How about you?
We are fantastic. She is Judy in the film. And then over here, we have Mason, who plays Adam in the film. Mason, how you doing?
Doing great today. Thanks for having us, guys.
No, this is truly an honor for us. We were lucky enough to get an early screener of the film. A little bit about the film without being spoilery. I do want to say that right off the top. We are going to keep this as spoiler-free as we possibly can because the film is not available yet. But the minute that it is available, we will have links to it on all our social media accounts, and you can follow all them. So that way I have all their social media accounts down here in the description. So that way you can follow them so you can stay up to date on everything they have coming up in the future and everything A Night of the Undead. So what this is it is canon with A Night of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And this takes place years after the events of Night of the Living Dead. So you want to?
Yeah, so I want to ask you guys, like, how does it feel to always be in the universe of A Night of the Living Dead? Like, you're continuing it. Like, how does that feel?
Legendary.
Yeah, pretty much. Really cool.
And the big thing with that is no one can ever take that away from you.
No.
I would go as far as to say Night of the Living Dead. It didn't start the zombie thing. You know, we all know that. But I would think that this is, you know, Night of the Living Dead 1968 is what popularized zombies and made zombies awesome and amazing. And this is a universe now that obviously we're both big fans of.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what ever happens in the scope of reality, you guys are forever in the world of A Night of the Living Dead, which is something I've been wanting to say since I was a glimmer in my father's eye. So what's it feel like for you, Denny, to know that you are forever a part of the Night of the Living Dead universe?
So, like, growing up, Night of the Living Dead was one of my favorite films. Like, straight, and the 1990 version too. Like, I loved that one. I like that more than the one from the 60s, honestly. But whenever I first got the role for this, like, I didn't even know what movie I was getting the role for. Like, I just know, like, I had tried out, and like, I was told it was Night of the Living Dead, and I just couldn't believe it. Like, so I love it. Like, it's amazing.
That's awesome.
So what about you, Brianna? Well, what's it feel like for you to always be a part of this universe?
Like I said, like everyone said, I think we're all just pretty honored, like, to be able to do something like this. And I know that the original films have such a strong, like, cult following, and they're going to be, like, way more critical, like, if we did, like, rather than we did, like, something else, like, completely different and, like, had nothing to do with Night of the Living Dead. I know it's going to be criticized a lot more harshly, but that's okay. And because we have to remember, you know, not everything is everyone's cup of tea, and it is different. And, like, we've kind of branched off of it, yes, but we've made it our own. So I think that's the big thing I want people to take away from it.
Right.
Absolutely. How about you, McKenzie? Are you a fan of the Night of the Living Dead? Like, how do you feel being in this?
I am honored to be a part of this movie. Unfortunately, I have only watched the Night of the Living Dead once because I'm not really a horror movie fan. I like to act in it, but not watch it because I do get scared a little easily sometimes, personally. But I did watch it, and it was pretty good, and it's quite an honor to be part of a legend, essentially, that that has created this whole thing with, well, not created, but like you said, helped promote the zombie theme of everything and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. How about you, Mason? How are you? Do you like the Night of the Living Dead? Do you love being in the continuation of it?
Absolutely. I've always pictured myself as a zombie slayer. So
Mm,
just to actually be able to step into a role where Adam, I didn't have to be Adam. Adam was me. The gentleman that wrote the part of Adam was, I've never met this guy. I think I may have spoke to him once via like text or whatever. Um, how he did that, how he made that character me, I don't know. It was actually really weird when I was reading it. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy, this is me. And then
Right.
we did the film, landed it, we killed it, and then now that we are in this universe, I'm just kind of like, I'm blown away. It's an honor. It's legendary, man. It's the best feeling in the world to be a part of something with such good people. We've got, I feel like you're always going to get negative feedback on anything that you do in
Yeah.
life anyway, but we've got some really good feedback. And yeah, well, I mean, when it screens and premieres here in this, the city that we live in, I think we're going to have a pretty solid crowd. I'm pretty nervous about that, but I can honestly say I just look back at the previous films and I'm just kind of like, wow, like look at what we just did. We're just going to keep
mhm.
keep the legend going and not let it die. So
Yeah, that has to be such a great feeling, and then having all these people come out and watch you guys, like that yeah, that's awesome.
I agree. And I'm with you, Denny. I actually prefer the 90s Night of the Living Dead to the 1968 one. And I do love the 1968 one. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, me too. Me too.
But Patricia Tallman's Barbara is such an
She's-
iconic final girl.
She's so much more of a badass.
Yeah. To have such strong female characters in a horror movie to me is always super important. It's something I want to see. In 1990s Night of the Living Dead actually encapsulated that. So one thing I do want to talk about real quick, because we said off the top that there's not going to be any spoilers on here, but I talked about this with the cast and I want to share it with you guys. The one thing that really attracted me to this film is when you watch a lot of fan films or sequel type films, they really rely on what the first one did to put their feet in the ground with their film. A Night of the Undead is not that film. This is its own film, and if you have never seen Night of the Living Dead and you go and you watch A Night of the Undead, you're not missing anything. You'll miss some Easter eggs and you'll miss some nods to the fans. But in the overall arc of what this film is trying to do, you don't need to watch Night of the Living Dead to be a fan of Night of the Undead or to even understand it. I like to liken this to Dr. Sleep. If you have never seen The Shining and you go and you watch Dr. Sleep, you're going to understand that film. You're not going to be confused as to what's going on here. Oh, I wish I knew what was happening here. And that's what this film did so well. And to see a low budget, film be able to capture that essence and not rely on what the first one did or the characters of the first one is very, very impressive. And something else that's very impressive about this film is the score.
Yeah.
We are huge fans of scores in films. And I feel like a score or an absence of score can make or break a film. And with this film, the score, it either ups the ante,
It intensifies it for sure.
or you have moments of no score
Yeah.
where it's perfectly done. Now I know not all of you have been able to see the film yet, but for those who has seen the film all the way through, is it just Denny and Mason?
I have gotten pretty close.
I've not
Have
seen
you
the
it,
entire
Denny?
thing. I've not seen the entire thing. I'm gonna check it
am-
out today. Actually,
I think
Yeah,
I got
Brianna,
like
you're
20 minutes
muted.
left.
yeah, you're muted, Brianna.
Oh yeah, my bad. Sorry, it's loud here. No, I have like 5 minutes left of the film.
Okay.
So
So you still get the
I have the
overall
entire
score.
film to watch.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So let me ask Mason and Brianna, since you guys have seen most of the film, how did it feel? Because I know that what you've done compared to what you see after the cutting room floor are two completely different things. So let's start with you this time, Mason. What did it feel like from what you've seen of the film, watching it with the score and with the edits? How does it feel for you to sit there and watch yourself on the screen?
Badass. I've never been a part of something like that. Like I said, this is my first film. I literally stepped into this with no acting experience at all, to be honest with you. And personally, I thought that I did pretty well. I thought we all killed it. Just seeing it myself, it made me nervous. And I'm not really a nervous person. I don't get like that, but it made me nervous. Not knowing, what's going to come next, what the next scene's going to be or what's going to happen. And just watching it and then thinking back as to like when the days that we spent actually doing it was it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. Aside from just recently becoming a father, I think that's probably one of the coolest experiences I've got to take on and be a part of. So it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Fuck them kids. Movies are cooler.
Um,
I'm joking. We have 3 kids that I don't like. So Brianna,
He does.
what's it feel like for you watching this film and what you've been able to see of it and seeing you guys on there and the steps that you guys have made? And like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect film besides Pee-wee's Big Adventure. But with this film, I love low budget horror films. I think that those are probably some of the best films that we have because it's not about money. And it's not about fame or anything like that. It's about your love of what you're doing and how you're proceeding with that. So how's it feel to watch the film to you?
Okay, so I'll be honest. I hate seeing myself on screen. I hate hearing my voice. It's not just with this film. It's with everything I've done. I can't stand it because I critique myself super hard. But that's just me. That's just a personal thing. But like there's some scenes like I wasn't a part of, obviously. And so seeing all of them come together was pretty cool. And I mean, everyone did a great job. It was really cool just to see how just the final product. It is really cool, even though I critique. I already told them, I was like, I'm gonna be your hardest critic. It's like, send me the film first. I'll tell you the truth. But no, I'm proud of it.
Yeah, you should be. You should be. And my thing is, like, I've said this my whole life, like, your film may not be for everybody, but the fact is, it is fucking hard to make a movie.
It's art, and even if it isn't for everybody, it's going to be for some people, and those are your people, So
and you guys have done something that literally everybody has wanted to do since they were a little kid, and that's make your movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? And nobody can take that away from you. And it's fucking hard, dude. Like we've done it. Like we know how hard it is to make a movie, and you guys did it. And not only did you make a movie, you made a good and entertaining movie. So it's something you guys should be absolutely 100% super proud of. And Denny and McKenzie, after you watch the movie, please text me. I would like to get your guys' opinion on the movie that you're in. So
so I want to talk about an iconic spin-off. They're Coming to Get You, Piper.
They're coming to get you, Piper.
Piss off, Adam.
Yes, I love that. And so when that went down, like it's like, yes, like you get that Easter egg there. Were you guys like stoked about that line too?
Yeah, when you guys read that line like in the script, were you like, oh shit, I know what this is? Hell yeah.
Yes. And the song at the end of the movie when the credits hit, like it's called They're Coming to Get You. Like so it's all inspired from that original line. And Kenny Guffey actually gave me that line. And I had reached out to everybody because I wanted everybody to kind of, just like contribute, give me some ideas on what to write for here, for the song. And Kenny Guffey was like, we was talking about song titles and he had just mentioned They're Coming to Get You. And I was like, that's it, dude.
That's
like,
it.
Yeah.
That when he told me that, like that made the entire chorus what it was. So, yeah.
And to add value to what Denny's saying, when I actually read that line and I'm like, holy shit, I'm the one that has to drop that. That's some big shoes to fill, man. But I love that scene, to be honest with you. That was like, gosh, I think that might have been our first day. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And we jumped right into that. And I think that we killed it. It was pretty. It's an iconic thing to be a part of. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
So I was honored to.
That would be like someone playing, doing a Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and someone being able to say, "Welcome to prime time, bitch." Like that is just so iconic, and the fact that you get to drop that line, it's amazing.
Right.
And like I said, horror fans are going to catch this stuff, and people that have never seen Night of the Living Dead, they're gonna be like, okay, that's badass.
Like,
who cares?
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you made it your own again. Like it's
exactly. You're not completely relying on it. You did that as an Easter egg for the fans that know what it is, and the fans that don't. Sure, it might go over their head, but it's not integral to the plot, and that to me is something special. So, another thing I want to talk about when we're talking about Easter eggs we have the Karen Cooper's diary, and the flashback of Karen Cooper and her dad. And again, being in the universe of Night of the Living Dead is special. Mr. Romero, God rest his soul, I would say that he is the godfather of the zombies. He didn't create it, but we wouldn't have the zombies we have today were it not for Mr. Romero, whether it be Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, even his later stuff, Diary of the Dead. When you guys went in, did you know, reading the script and you got to the Karen Cooper stuff, like that hit you a little different? Like, wow, like, yeah, we are doing this now. This is something that we are gonna be doing, especially finding the diary of one of the most important and iconic characters of the first film. I'll start with you this time, McKenzie. When you guys were looking over the script, what did you feel like when you seen the diary of Karen Cooper?
Well, since I ended up actually being the one to have to read it, as if it was kind of, I guess, amazing, thinking, wow, this is something from the previous movie, and I am literally reading the diary of someone from the movie beforehand, and it's kind of like, wow, you don't expect
That's
that,
why I
really.
wanted to start with, that's why I wanted to start with you, because everybody, even if you haven't seen Night of the Living Dead, you probably know what this is. I don't know if you can see it or not right now, but I got Karen Cooper here. We got her poster that we keep up on our wall, and I went to go grab it, but you can't see it because it's censored. It's that bad. But for you guys to be in, like I said, it's different to be in your own universe and make your own film, which you guys did, but to have flashbacks like that, to me, is super cool. So, Brianna, what was it like for you learning that you guys were going to be integrating, Lord, to be, bringing that into this movie? What did that feel like for you?
That was really like one of the things I was super excited to see in the final product, because none of us had seen anything about like the flashbacks, and so that's what I was most excited for. And the actors who did Karen and Ben, they're awesome,
Yeah, and it's a scene that when you see it actually happening, you're like, oh my gosh, they went there,
Right.
Yeah.
because a lot of times you would talk about it, but for you guys to actually go there and to be able to see that type of thing, to me, was super, super cool. So what about you, Mason? How does it feel to know that you're part of that Karen Cooper's diary scene?
Oh, it's badass. I mean, and like you continue to mention about, there's going to be people that haven't seen the previous films and they watch ours and they're just kind of like, holy shit, I wonder who that is. How does that tie into this story? And then, hey, our film could potentially put them on to go back and watch those, you know what I mean? That way they could really gather the entire story together. I think what we've done with that and just everything overall, with it all tied together, somebody that's, even if they're new to horror films, they watch ours, maybe that can, like I said, put them on to the previous films and they'll become fans forever. I mean, that's ultimately the goal. So,
see, and it's funny you say that, because I've said that on this podcast 1,000 times when people bitch about remakes or requels or whatever. The sales of Halloween 1978 went up like 48% when Halloween 2018 came out, because people that had never seen the original Halloween went back to watch it because of that. Now, how many people now are going to go back? Oh my God, I haven't seen this movie in so long, I'm going to go watch it. Or how many people, I've never seen that original one, and then they go watch it and go, oh, Karen Cooper, that makes sense.
Or it brings the younger crowd, and it makes them have a love for horror. It brings them to, be in this horror community, which is amazing. So,
and how many people now, if they've never seen it before, are going to see They're Coming to Get You, Barbara, and be like, hey, he said that in the new one. To them, they're doing what you did, not the opposite. So that's another way I love the way that you're looking at it. So what about you, Denny? When you were reading it, how did it hit you when you seen that?
Amazing. And even being there, when we filmed that scene, by the way, Mason, you got to find that journal, bud. Like, it was Mason that found it. just amazing. And another scene was the Ben scene on the gun. Like that
Right.
that hit
You're
hard.
jumping ahead of my script,
I'm
Denny.
sorry, bro.
You're
I'm
jumping
sorry.
ahead of my script.
But yeah, like I mean, just amazing. I'm happy to be a part of it, and
Yeah.
I'm satisfied with it. Yeah.
No, and I'm just pulling your leg, but yeah, I do have that on my script. Like that's another Easter egg
Mhm.
that you get to, and you're like, oh shit, it's Ben's gun, because again, if you've seen the original, you'll know how important that is to see
Absolutely.
Ben's name on the rifle.
And I
love
really
how when
hope
you come out,
everybody. I hope everybody watches the original. Like I think it would be better for them. Like
Mhm.
so, I'm the type of guy like I love Nightmare on Elm Street. It doesn't matter like, and it's just how it is. Like if somebody else plays Freddy Krueger, I'm gonna hate it. Like I need that original Robert Englund. And there's going to be a lot of people that dislike this because of that. But
Mhm.
if I never would have, I watch a lot of B movies, and B movies it's where it's at for me. Like horror movies, Shudder. Like I find Shudder movies all the time that are better than what's out, just straight up.
We love
And
Shudder.
like to me, like this film, it holds up to what's on there. And like, if I wouldn't have been in this film and I would have watched it, streaming, I would have kept watching it. So.
Yeah. Like I
So,
said, when
yeah.
when he asked us to watch the film and if we do a review, because we always say, well, let us watch the film first and we'll go from there because there are times where people are like, hey, will you watch our movie and do a review on it? And I'm like, you don't want me to.
Right.
It's not something you want me to do if you ever want to talk to me again. But we're brutally honest people. And like I said, this is not a perfect film by any stretch of the imagination, but it's something you guys should be proud of.
Yeah.
Right.
And
It entertained us, and that's what you guys set out for, right? So
I've watched The Exorcist 2. So trust me, I've seen much worse films than your guys's. This is something you guys should genuinely be very, very proud of. And that's not lip service. I loved the movie. We had a whole
What about
lot of
The
fun with it.
Exorcist 3 though? The Exorcist 3.
My favorite.
That's a
Yeah.
hidden gem. That's a hidden gem.
That's my favorite in that
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah.
I've always said this. The first Exorcist is the scariest movie I've ever seen. The second Exorcist
Is the worst.
fucking
Yes.
movie I've ever seen.
Yes.
And The Exorcist 3 is the best one in that franchise.
Absolutely.
Brad Dourif is amazing.
We missed out on that movie for so long
Because we hated
of
The Exorcist
second
2.
one.
We're like, we're not watching any more of these
And then
ever
we
again.
watched it, and I was like, "This is good."
She was like, it's your fault we never
Yes.
watched this.
Everything.
So one thing I do want to touch on real quick, bouncing back, is practical effects.
Yeah, so the practical effects looked really good. And I know you guys were probably in makeup for a while. Like, how was that? Like being in makeup and doing all the practical effects. We'll start with you, Brianna.
So I ended up doing the makeup for the film, and I'd never done
Hey.
makeup.
Nice.
Hey,
But it was
And
There's a
McKenzie
lot.
helped,
I know.
right?
I had a part of the makeup too.
Mackenzie helped,
Yes.
right? Okay.
yes. I'm trying not to spoil, like, obviously who
Yeah.
was in makeup, who wasn't. But it was
Obviously,
it was
there
not like,
was.
there was not a lot of CGI. It was all
Yeah.
real.
Which we love. We are not big fans of CGI. So I think that
CGI can be very useful if you're using it to enhance your practical effects. If you're using a little bit of CGI here and there to enhance what you're doing with your practical. When you overuse CGI, garbage. And to know that you ladies that were acting in the film did makeup in the film, that's incredible.
Yeah, you guys did an amazing
Yeah,
job.
you guys
for
did a
sure.
great job with the practical effects in the film, and you guys did a great job with your makeup. So kudos to you ladies on
Yes.
that. One last thing that we got to talk about here. We're not going to get too in depth on this, because if you want to know more about this, you can watch the film. There's a decapitation in this film.
Yes.
How was that day of filming with the decapitation?
Dude, it was fucking hot. It was hot. You're talking about wearing makeup, man. It's so funny you brought that up. There was one day we shot, and man, I was starving because it was dead summer, you know what I mean? And it's like 100 degrees out. We're all sweating our asses off. We leave the set, we're done for the day, and I'm like, man, I'm starving. I need some tacos, dude. Dude, I go to get some takeout, man, and I walk in and I'm covered in just dirt, blood. I look like I just got in like a bloody like bar fight outside in the back of the bar, some crazy shit. Man, these people in this restaurant were just
People are
looking
calling
at
the
me.
cops.
What happened to you, bro? Like,
Oh yes, walking into
I've
a
been
restaurant
fighting-
after having.
I've been fighting zombies all day. Can I get
Yeah.
a goddamn taco, please?
Just want
No
a
more
taco.
questions. All right.
that's all. I just
And-
wanted my food, dude. And they kept like, "Man, are you all right?" Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm fine."
Like,
Shooting
what do you
them-
mean
we're
I'm
doing a
good?
movie. Check it out.
You should see the other guys.
Right.
I can definitely say that. Denny and I and the rest of the cast, the entire crew, I think we really enjoyed that. I personally, I like that. I like that scene. So
Yeah. And like I said, the decapitation scene is one that we were very fond of.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks very, very good. So obviously I want to talk a lot more because of my genuine love of film and the fun that we had. But the longer I talk, I have this disease where I don't shut the hell up and I start to spoil things. So
It's true.
so you guys, I do want to remind everybody, all the social media links are all down in the description. So make sure you are following these beautiful, wonderful people so you can stay up to date on everything that they have coming up. Brianna, Denny, McKenzie, Mason, please don't go anywhere. I have a couple more questions for you guys. Everybody else, as always, keep talking horror,
Stay who you are.
and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.